This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by MJ Harrington & Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. Raleigh Lakeside Builders, specializing in custom and waterfront homes, shoreline protection, renovations, and full-scale design. Bramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Now hosting YCN Sports Talk the first Wednesday of every month. Mascoma Savings Bank. With no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. And by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, almost set to begin the fourth quarter of action. And Andrew, one last chance here for Windsor. Looked like they were getting it close, keeping it close to 5-7 points, and then all of a sudden, Woodstock, you look up at the scoreboard and they're leading by 16 points.
Yeah, really, Windsor struggling to score here. Really, in all quarters, I mean, only 27 points. That's definitely low for their offense.
Oh. Point attempt, no good, and then the offensive rebound, and then the foul. Adam Stapleton, he comes into the game. That's the first action I think we've seen him in this second half. Picks up a foul.
Yeah, it looked to me like Stapleton was just going straight up, hands straight up. Really, Marcia Kovatiri seemed to make contact with him, but that's a big fourth foul against Stapleton.
Free throw is up and good, and it looks like at this point they're going to keep Stapleton in the game. Maybe that's their only chance to come back is get the ball down low, even though he's got 4 fouls. Second one is up and good as well. Marcia Kovatiri with 6 points in that third quarter, added 2 more there. He's got 8 in the second half, 19 for the game. Three-pointer, no good, Frazier. And that's out of bounds, goes back to Woodstock.
Windsor can definitely knock down the 3 ball, but it seems like tonight they've been forcing maybe a little too many attempts, which has resulted in missed shots and more opportunities for Woodstock to score. Yeah.
And stepping out of bounds, so it'll go back to Windsor. And Andrew, if you're Windsor, you just have to keep shooting, get to the hole, try and get to the free throw line. But the biggest thing is you got to make some defensive stops.
Yeah.
Really, that's been their Achilles heel tonight, is just have not been able to make any defensive stops. 3-point attempt from the corner, no good. 17 points scored in that third quarter by Woodstock. And there we go, Windsor gets the ball back. It almost feels like they continue to shoot. They got to start making something.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they're good shooters. They got the pieces and parts. Just not exactly hitting their shots tonight. There's one from the corner, number 13, Ben Meager. He has all the field goals in the second half for Windsor. The only guy who has other points is Dakota Page, who has 2 free throws. And here comes Windsor again. The 3 again off the back iron. That's tipped. That's going to stay Windsor basketball. Caleb Webb couldn't get it. 15-point deficit here. Windsor going to get something. A 3-pointer from the corner, number 12, Duncan Frazier. He gets in on the second half action. And just like that, a couple threes. It's back down to 12 points, 6.5 to play. A lot of time.
Today's telecast is being brought to you in part by MJ Harrington, jewelers and designers in Newport, New Hampshire. And you can watch any of our local shows anytime at ycnnow.com.
Well, tipped. A little bit of unrest here in the crowd. A lot of people thought that one was tipped before it went out. Windsor basketball, but it will stay with Woodstock. Inside 6.5 to play. Corner 3. Nice job on the rebound. Nice box out by Slocum. And he goes all the way to the hole, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Slocum at the line for the first time tonight. He's hit a couple of threes. He's got 6 points. That foul was on Charlie Amato, his second. Team's fourth of the second half as Slocum hits the first free throw. 45-34. What was a 16-point game entering this fourth quarter is now an 11-point game. So cutting into it slowly. But if you're Windsor, you're going to continue to make stops. Every possession is big now in these final 6 minutes. Nice defense there. Ryland Richardson being aware. Kick ball. Stay with Woodstock, but resets.
Hey, local sports fans, 94.5 ESPN's Franklin and House Sports Talk Show can be seen on YCN's WYCX Outside Television at 5 p.m. every weekday. Tune in daily and get up to date on what's happening in sports.
Amato drives in and stolen away. And Windsor playing a little more aggressive on defense. May have some life. 3-point attempt, no good. Stapleton with a nice rebound. He puts it in. Adam Stapleton, his first point since the first quarter. Just like that, it's a 9-point game. And I don't know if that was the shot they wanted from Robert Slocum. It was a little deep, but good awareness by Stapleton, and then stolen away on the inbounds pass. The three-pointer just missing the mark. Ben Meager really wanted to get that one and cut it to 6. Instead, they've got to play defense down 9. Slocum with the defense, but then Duncan Frazier stepping in and a little aggressive there. A little too much contact, and now Caleb Webb will go to the line. He will shoot 1 and 1. Frazier, that was his first. Team's 9th, so the next one will be 2 shots. His first free throw, no good. And Windsor with the rebound. Want to make sure they get a good look here. Still have plenty of time. It's a 2-pointer, foot on the line, and that is killer, but Meager gets the 2. It's one of those things where you got to watch your feet. It's a 7-point game. Charlie Amato, he's going to go right into the teeth of the defense. No good, but Webb gets the rebound, and the foul, Caleb Webb. Webb with the big follow. Amato went in 1 on 4. Didn't have any success. Caleb Webb comes back with the rebound, puts it back. That foul was on Ben Meager, his 4th, team's 10th, and Webb gets the 3-point play, extends that lead back to 10. From the corner is Frazier, and Duncan Frazier, his second 3 of the quarter. 41-48, tipped away, and it's gonna stay with Windsor. So if we got a fourth quarter of action here, 4:51 to play. Windsor trailing 48-41. They trailed by 16 entering this quarter. It's now down to 7, and Windsor has the ball. But you've got a lot of time. So if you're Windsor, you're really excited. You got the momentum, but you don't want to take errant shots and hurry yourself. You still got a lot of time.
Yeah, it seems like they've done that on multiple possessions here tonight, even early in this game. Kind of shot a 3 before everything was set, but they've been knocking down those shots as of late. Only down by 7 now.
And you got to be careful on defense. There's the foul away from the basket, and every time they go to the line, it's going to be 2 free throws. That one is going to be Griffin Van Neal. He'll go to the line. He has yet to score tonight. That foul was on Duncan Frazier, his 2nd. Woodstock already in the double bonus. Griffin Van Neal's first one, no good.
Our next YCN game of the week will be in Hanover, New Hampshire, as the Marauders play host to the Generals of John Stark. In addition to our Saturday night telecast, you can listen and watch live on our YCN News Facebook page next Tuesday at 7 p.m.
And Neal hits 1 of 2, extending that lead to 8 points, 49-41. Frazier gets it inside to Stapleton, but Webb is there on the defense. Clearly looking to get it to Frazier in the corner. Meager, 3-pointer, no good. Marsko Vateri with the rebound, but stolen away by number 12, Duncan Frazier, and he puts it in. 49-43, inside 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Woodstock with a 6-point lead. Long three. Ill-advised shot there early in the possession. And Windsor now with a chance to cut it to one possession if they can hit a three. Frazier for three. Almost goes. And the rebound pulled down by 23 Christian Wood. Nice defense there. Robert Slocum really pressuring the ball. Shot no good. Christian Wood a little strong. 49-43 our score. As we approach 3 minutes to play. Three-pointer from Slocum in the corner, no good. Wood with another rebound. So Windsor had gotten hot for a little while. They cut it to 6, now a couple empty possessions. Amato for three. He can't hit.
Yeah, if I'm Windsor, really risk reward if they hit that three, that's huge, but not a great chance they're gonna hit it, so I'm gonna give them that shot every time.
And Coach Ledoux wants a timeout, smart timeout there inside 3 minutes to play, 49-43, Woodstock leading. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and Andrew in this fourth quarter right now. 49-43, Woodstock leading Windsor. Windsor has scored 16 points to only 6 for Woodstock in this quarter. They've really put it on. Finally, as we said, some of those shots have started to fall.
Yeah, finally, really guys like Slocum and Frazier and Meager have really knocked down a number of big shots to put their team back in this one. And defensively, a lot of their guys have been trying really hard. They have right now 10 fouls, so they got to try to limit those because it'll immediately send Woodstock to the line for 2.
And Slocum has played some great defense, hasn't gone in on the scoring, but some great defense as we see Balch from the corner. And they're going to call a loose ball foul. I thought maybe they were going to get foul on the defender, but it's a loose ball foul. It's going to go against number 13, Ben Meager, and that is his 5th. He is out of the game. And checking in for Windsor is number 23, Hunter Grella. "13 points is what Meager ends up with. He had 1 point in that first half. He scored 12 points in the second half to help with the comeback. And Marsko Vateri is at the line, shooting a pair. His first one, no good. He's been to the line a few times tonight. This will be his 7th free throw. He's 3 for 6 right now. Second one is up and good, 4 for 7. Extends that lead back to 7. And this is where Windsor had been a lot. Close in that close range, but just not able to cut it to one possession. And now with no shot clock, obviously, coming up on 2 minutes, here's when you have to use a little bit of urgency. Still don't want to take a bad shot, but a little bit of urgency as the foul there away from the ball. That foul was on number 10, Caleb Webb. That's only his 2nd foul. Team's 5th of this half, so they got a ways to go before putting Windsor in the bonus.
Yeah, it's getting close to the time where Windsor really needs to just take shots because what they've been doing, it hasn't exactly been working.
There's Slocum, comes up a little short. Webb pulls down the rebound. And stolen away. Nicely done there. Doesn't have numbers, so they've got to really slow it down. 2 minutes to play here in this one, 50-43. Can Windsor complete the comeback? 3-point attempt, no good. Seth Balch. Nicely done, jumping in, aggressive, and it will stay with Windsor. They'll keep possession, down 7. Got a chance to cut into this deficit.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all of your printing needs. And by Raleigh Lakeside Builders, specializing in custom and waterfront homes, shoreline protection, renovations, and full-scale design. Check out their Facebook page.
Seth Balch, number 14, with the deep three and cuts it to 50-46. Balch now has 7 points. Timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. And Andrew, obviously, any foul puts Woodstock to the line for 2, so you got to be careful, but you still have to be aggressive.
Yeah.
They haven't been the greatest free throw shooting team. Marco Viteri is only 4 of 7. Griffin Van Niel 1 for 2. Will Crompton 1 for 2. So maybe you put him to the free throw line.
Right, yeah, I mean, they haven't, they've shown they haven't exactly knocked down all their free throws, so wouldn't be the worst idea, but, maybe if it was 1 and 1,
right,
that might be more of an option, but right now, immediately shooting 2 shots, that might be a little too much of a risk, but you got to take some chances right now.
And the problem, like we said, no shot clock in Vermont. Your best shot is to trap them behind the half-court line, which obviously they didn't do there. Inside and tipped away. It looked like maybe Marco Viteri was going to go to the free throw line, but they'll say the defender got all ball. I think you got to hopefully force it into somebody's hands who's not a good shooter,
right,
and then foul them and take your chances. Inbounds pass there. Amato dribbling with it. I don't think you want to foul him. He's 2 for 2 so far from the line. And Slocum asking the ref, where's the push off? So Amato goes to the line. He has 14 points tonight, 2 for 2 from the line. Ryland Richardson on the foul. And Amato. Free throw is good. 51-46. Another big one here. Amato gets the friendly roll. 52-46. Another three-pointer here is what you need if you're Windsor. Kind of swinging around. Three-pointer. Dakota Page. 21. He gets it to fall. 52-49. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout. 1:11 to play. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by La Valley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. 1:11 to play in this one, and Woodstock leads at 52-49. What was a 16-point lead entering this quarter has now been whittled down to only 3 points. Woodstock will have the basketball. They will get 2 free throws every time they're fouled. They're in the double bonus, so you got to be careful. But you can't let a lot of time expire. You got to go for that steal. If you don't get the steal, foul somebody other than Amato, I think, or Marco Viteri if you can. They get the break to Amato, and inside to Marco Viteri. He gets it. 2-pointer inside, 54-49. Inside a minute to play. Balch for 3. He's knocked down. No foul call. Rebound to Woodstock. They get the outlet to Marco Viteri, and he's underneath for the easy basket, and that might just do it. 45 seconds to play. Slocum for a deep 3. No good. And it looks like that rebound, Caleb Webb, might be enough. Amato stolen away, but they're going to get the foul call on Slocum. Balch is not happy. He was knocked down on that 3-point attempt. But the refs didn't call it. They said it was clean. And here's Amato at the line to shoot a pair. He's been solid tonight from the line. He's now 5 for 5. And that 8-point lead looks to be insurmountable with only 35 seconds to play. The first missed free throw, and then Marco Viteri a little aggressive trying to get that rebound. We'll go back to Windsor basketball. 57-49, 34.7 seconds to play. Have to figure out our player of the game here.
Right.
And Marco Viteri with 11 points in that first half. He added 6 in the third quarter, and now he's added 7 in this quarter for 24 points to lead all scorers. Jump ball, it's going to go back to Woodstock, and that's just about going to do it, I would imagine. Coach Ledoux will call the Dogs off. 8-point deficit. Not really enough time. Inbound to Van Neal. He'll get fouled, and he will go to the line. Griffin Van Neal, he's 1 for 2 already with 1 point.
Yeah, so I think now is a good time to talk about our HR Clough Kearsarge hitting, turning up the heat player of the game. I think we have to give that one to junior forward Gabe Marcicovateri. He had a huge night this one, scoring 24 points, leading all scorers. Really, he was big down low. And when his team was down by was up by only single digits, he scored a number of big buckets to really seal this victory. So nice job. Congratulations to Gabe. What a game he had with 24 points.
Griffin Van Neal misses both free throws, so still a glimmer of hope here for Windsor. He'll shoot the 3, but he doesn't get it. Tied up by Harrison Morse, and then it will stay with Windsor. One final try here for Windsor. 3-point attempt, Duncan Frazier off the back iron, bounced around. And foul away from the ball. It'll be more free throws as Woodstock gets the crowd into it. They will come away with the victory.
Yeah.
All that's left to be determined is the final score. Griffin Van Neal going back to the line. He's had a tough night so far, 1 for 4 from the line. Makes the front end there. 58-49, so a 16-point lead going into the fourth quarter was whittled down to 5 points. And then Griffin Van Neal sinks it again. That lead is back to 10. Seth Balch for 3, no good. Slocum with the rebound, and he puts it back in to finish the scoring. 59-51. Woodstock wins it in a game that was a low-scoring affair at the beginning, 11-11 after 1 quarter, and then both teams turned it on in the second half. Woodstock putting in 17 points in the third quarter, 16 in the fourth quarter. Windsor putting in only 9 in that third quarter, but erupting for 24 in that fourth quarter alone. So the final score here, 59-51. Andrew, do you have some of the numbers tallied up here for some of those players other than Marcicovateri, who we already know has 24 points?
Well, let's start off with Windsor. On that side of the ball, a number of guys scored. Ben Meager led his team with 13 points. Frazier was behind him with 10. Slocum was behind him with 9. And Seth Balch and Dakota Page each scored 7. And for Woodstock, obviously Marcicovateri with 24, but Charlie Amato had a big night with 19 points. He was big at the free throw line, also hit a couple of threes. Caleb Webb, who usually scores double digits, I believe he only had, let's see, about 7 points here.
Yeah.
But it's not like he had a bad night. He just didn't have the ball a ton in his hands. And other guys like Christian Wood, he scored 5. So nice job by the Wasps. Really, Marcicovateri did most of the work offensively, but Amato was right behind him. And defensively, that's what really won them this game, limiting Windsor to only 51 points when that offense averages 65 a game. So what a big night defensively for the Wasps.
So the Windsor Yellow Jackets fall to 14-3. They will be home next versus Mount St. Joseph Academy. And the Woodstock Wasps improve to 9-7. Their next game will be home versus Brattleboro. So the final score for the final time, Woodstock beats Windsor 59-51. Thanks to Alex and Greg. For Andrew Zerhide, I'm Jeremy Stout. Thanks for watching the YCN Game of the Week.
YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by MJ Harrington & Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. Raleigh Lakeside Builders, specializing in custom and waterfront homes, shoreline protection, renovations, and full-scale design. Bramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Now hosting YCN Sports Talk the first Wednesday of every month. Mascoma Savings Bank. With no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. And by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.